one of the downfalls with being spiritually gifted is that God oftentimes works through your own senses. So if you aren't aware of that, then you could potentially be trying to treat a physical ailment that's really spiritual. For instance, I'm gonna use me as an example here, right? So probably in like 2011, it probably was 2012, 2013. I like I don't know if y'all remember a video where I said previously where I said I believed that I cursed myself by used to saying that I had allergies all the time when I'm a perfectly healthy person. Like every time I go to the doctor, I'm perfectly healthy, right? And so I developed what seemed to be like allergies, right? So I remember this is back when I was in high school. So my mom took me to the ENT doctor, ears, nose, throat doctor, and we did like all the allergy tests and stuff. They thought they couldn't find out what was wrong with me. They didn't even. And back then I used to have real strong congestion in my nose, and like I couldn't breathe. I used to have pain, pressure, and all this stuff. So the doctors would run tests on me, and they legitimately could not figure out what it was. And we got a few different opinions after that. Like, so it wasn't until like recent times of now that I'm understanding more of the fact that I've always been spiritually gifted, and it's something that you can't control if you are gifted. And the reason why I don't talk a lot about stuff like this is because there's a lot of people who they want to be special so bad, so they go around imitating stuff. So I don't talk about stuff that often, but it's interesting because I learned that it was a spiritual manifestation. Every time you go to the doctor and they can't figure it out why, 9 times out of 10 is something spiritually related. So when it comes to like my sinuses and stuff, there's times where my sinuses will like change, or like there's times where all of my senses they will change because I'm discerning. And a lot of times people who are, I have my own breakdown theory when I learned like sinus congestion is usually a spirit of intimidation, and I'm like, oh wow. So my own breakdown from it is that usually the spirit of Jezebel is a spirit that likes to intimidate. The spirit of fear is a spirit that likes to intimidate, right? So if you're around people, if you're spiritually sensitive and you pick up on things in the spirit and other people's emotions and stuff, if you're around people who are oppressed by these demons, if they're saved, or if they're possessed by these demons, if they're not saved, then sometimes you're being affected by your environment. And this is like of course like scenario basis, like it's not all the time, it's just that sometimes this could be the case if you're somebody who is very spiritual, like and it would make sense if you are somebody who is prophetic, because oftentimes the battles that you go through in life before God allows you to know your spiritual gifting is you are constantly around people who want to like dim your light, dim your shine, oppress you in some type of way, and oftentimes they want to control you, they want to manipulate you, stuff like that. So oftentimes you've been through battles of intimidation and fear, not only by other people maybe, but even just situationals. Like some people, they hold limiting beliefs in their brain, and they're fearful. They have real fears about stuff. So yeah, that is just one of the keys to knowing if you are like in the office of the prophet, is that those are one of the things. So yeah, somebody left a comment under my YouTube videos trying to be helpful. I think they were trying to be nice and helpful, but yeah, I already have had several specialists look into it to try to figure out what was wrong. It got to a point where they was like, well, we can treat the symptoms, so like we can go in and cut some stuff up to make sure that you're breathing. And I'm just like, okay, I'm a woman of faith, so like we not about to be, what I'm saying, cutting up stuff. Let me go to God first before we start cutting up some stuff. That's the way I do stuff, you know. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say about that. And maybe I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.